This is science it out. Yeah.
Science it out.
Yes, not I can science this. I keep getting them confused, but this is science it out. The physicist guy, and like I said, he is probably one of the smartest guys that I know.
Is there a V in front of the boat?
You know some smart people.
Yeah, I think so. There's a little.
Have you heard of I can science the shit out of that?
Yes. He was in the chat the other day, wasn't he?
That's where it
I think so.
starts, right where
Apparently he was on some live stream somewhere.
It's a big thing.
I haven't watched the stream. Yeah, I've just seen him around a little bit.
What a lucky day, guys. Fatima and this on the same day. Wow.
Oh, I should prepare for the debate, shouldn't I? Rather than dicking around here.
Oh, yeah. How are you presenting your...
I've got like a shell of a video. So MC Toon will generate 2 sets of angles, the 3 stars.
He'll generate
curvature. Yes.
some angles. So you're not even going to measure your own angles?
No, because then it
Well, I
doxes
think,
people, right?
like I say, if we think we can follow it.
No,
all
I
the
thought
way
you were
out
just
to
going
the
through the
end, we
method.
can lose the back
Here we
end
are,
of that
using
boat.
example angles.
Okay. So are you going to do like a pretend thing, or is McToon going to do a pretend thing where he
He's gonna
sends you the
generate-
angles? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll generate some angles from stellarium, I assume, and then sort of add the dip correction, whatever else.
From a computer model. He's doing it from a
Yeah.
computer model.
Yes. Do you know why he's doing it for a computer model?
Because it's not reality.
Well, we just got this.
Because it matches reality.
Still
It's
going.
just a computer. So he is just doing it from the computer model, then, right? That's why I
Yes.
was asking. Are we going to get at least him like going outside and doing like a camera piece to make it look like he's
So it's
going
not
to
to do
like
that.
what
He
what
has
they
done that
would
before, though.
actually be doing in reality?
He has done that before. He went on the holidays and took some angles with his phone. And that was a bit of a challenge. He set for
Some
the
angles with his phone.
Yes. You know, your phone has an accelerometer.
Okay, yeah. So not a
It's measure angles
sextant,
with it.
not a sextant. Because isn't that
Not
what
a
like
sextant,
isn't
no.
the whole thing meant to be like based around a sextant?
Doesn't have to be. When I got a theodolite measures angles.
Yeah, but a theodolite's a theodolite. It's not a sextant.
Right.
This is about a
Looking at this
sextant,
stuff.
isn't it?
No, it's about celestial navigation.
Well, I thought it was about what you can do with the sextant and how you can do this.
You
Challenge.
can you can navigate by the stars with a sextant. You can also do it with a theodolite or even his phone. It's the process.
Yeah,
not the
yeah, that's
instrument.
right. So you measure an angle, right? McToon could
Yeah.
pretend he's been out there
Yeah.
with his sextant and he's measured some angles and he can hand you these angles, right?
Yes.
Can you see a
Okay.
V in the back of the boat?
And it's that process that you're going to walk us through.
You can see there's a couple
Yes.
What
of
happens
there's a
after
light,
the
and I
you
think
acquire?
that's mirroring.
your
'cause
angle.
The flashing is like a double
Yes.
flash.
And that's the point where refracted curvature will not want to get past.
There's a
Like he'll
double-
just say, "Oh, you can't get an angle on a globe," and I'm like, "What
Those
the fuck are you
lights will
talking
get
about?"
closer and closer together.
That's his. Like I said, I know that it's impossible to do this if the Earth is flat. So
You
I
can
know
measure-
that he
you can
can't do
measure
it.
angles anywhere, right? It's
No, the process of celestial navigation. There are 3 things, 2 of which are quite important, that require a sphere. And if you don't have a sphere, it doesn't work. So I know that he can't do it. And his entire shtick for the whole debate will be, you've got an angle. You skipped past the angle debate.
Right,
And
it's
I'm
over
like,
the curve, isn't it? It's going over the
I don't need a fucking flat Earth to measure an angle.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to be his entire response, is yes, you do need a flat Earth.
Wait, what if
That's obvious.
he doesn't respond like that? Like,
I
are you
listened
putting?
to
Are you not
enough.
putting all your eggs in one basket? Are you? Like,
No.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter what he says, but I
Alright,
know what his 2 main points are. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he says.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's good.
This is why, like, he'll bring up all these citations, and I'm like, I don't give a shit what your citations say. If I bring up a citation that says something different, who wins? Like that's why we're having this demonstration rather than, dueling citations.
Yeah, the demonstrations are good. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Lives are at stake there. If you're fucking lost on the ocean and want to know where you are so you can get home.
Well, those lights are.
I have a method that works.
Somebody else said something about that.
Across the
Lives
back
being
end
at
of the
stake.
boat.
It's not really. It's just the
Probably me.
thing. It's a challenge from McToon, isn't it?
Let me ask
Oh
you,
no, it's a
how
challenge for
far
me,
off
but it's
the
not really
shore
actually a
of the
challenge.
beach would you say the boat
It
is?
is. McToon is giving you the numbers.
It's in the
He's
shipping
taking
line
you
in
through
between
his
Liverpool and
his sextant challenge, right? I take it that's what it is. It's a
Liverpool,
way of
Wales,
you
isn't it?
drawing
It's
somebody in
Liverpool shipping line.
to get McToon through his
Like,
challenge.
to me, it doesn't look further than a few
Well,
miles.
the angles aren't going to be his challenge angles. I mean, I've been pushing for everyone to do celestial navigation for fucking 6 months as
How
well.
many miles is
So it's
that?
not McToon. Like, it was me that approached McToon saying, I want to debate on your channel. And of course he said yes. But yeah, it is to embarrass the FED panel because they can't do it.
It's the size of the thing first.
But they all fucking talk as if they're experts on
it's in
the
the
show.
Liverpool
Like it's pretty
box, isn't it?
cringy.
It's
But
Pretty cringy.
he is doing the debate. He
So
is going
far
to
away is
demonstrate
Liverpool
it,
from
right? He's
Southport.
agreed
Well,
to demonstrate it. So you're saying he can't do it, but I mean he is
We're not inside.
That's the thing, he
actually
hasn't
going
quite
forward
agreed.
to the debate.
He hasn't quite agreed. I don't want to share the DMs here, but he hasn't quite agreed. And I've asked him many times. It's like he pretends that he doesn't know how to use Discord. Like we started a group DM with me and Mattoon like 5 days ago, and he hasn't said anything on the group. We're all asking
Ainsdale
him,
from
"Can
Southport.
you do this on the 19th? And do you
No,
accept the terms of the
that
debate?"
boat's further
Like
away.
Wait.
So it's not actually been set up then. Like when you said
Well-
you are having a debate, like the guy that you're meant
yeah.
to be having a debate with hasn't actually agreed to have a debate. So this could this all be a bit of in your imagination, right? I know
No,
you have
he
been to
gets on
go
the debate.
to get carried away with yourself, right?
He gets on the photo debate show and goes, "Oh, anytime, anywhere." And right, we've said to him a couple of times,
We?
"Can you do this date here this time?" Me too, yeah.
You into-
How far is a mile?
And he keeps saying on the show, "I've told them, I'll accept any date and time."
You think it's
so
a curve
we're
in the
Toon and I are
downwards
gonna have
direction?
this show anyway next week. Like I'm making a video as my
Literally, you
presentation.
can't just do that.
At 1 mile.
So that'll be like a 15-minute video.
Oh right, a
And I-
pre-made video.
We walk down.
Well, as soon as he gives the angles, like I've got a skeleton of a video
Best way I can figure
ready,
of doing it is
so I've got to like plug it in with the actual angles.
if you know how far a mile away is. And just
Yeah, so
look
Toon generates the angles. He offers the choice of which set of angles he wants to refracted curvature.
at- yeah, large
He's got 24 hours to pick one. If he doesn't pick one, then I pick one.
Yeah, that's under the
And we
deck,
each,
like the deck of the boat's
you know,
gone.
show where they were taken from
Both ends now.
Yeah.
and how we got there by way of worked example. How did you do it?
What is the difference?
That's one hell of a curve. You figure you can go.
With what?
Do you have a bigger angle, or do you
Yeah. It's got
is
to be a
it-
hump though.
drop the height of the star,
There's a hump in between.
or does he have it higher?
You go there where that hump is, you
No,
can
there are two sets of angles. They haven't even been generated yet.
One for you and one for him.
It's big and
Yeah,
bright.
but he gets the choice, right? He chooses whichever set that he wants, and then I get the other one.
Right, yeah,
I
but
don't care.
I'm saying within your two different models, I'm guessing. The angle is the separation between a place and a light in the sky, right?
Yeah, it's a horizon and a star.
Okay, now within that model and that framework,
Can you see on the right hand
you have the water level dropping in the distance,
nearly looking straight down?
which would tend to make that angle and the light in the sky move downwards, right? So are you saying that he can't do
Doesn't
it
move.
because his angle is higher?
No.
You know, the light in the
The
sky is
angles-
higher
The
relative
angles
to.
are
Go on.
not relevant. There are three, like I said, there are
Angles are
three
not relevant.
points.
That's
Not
all you're
relevant to the
starting
model.
off with, isn't it?
Not relevant to which model works. All right, doesn't matter the angles.
See, there is clouds.
It's the steps afterwards that you need a sphere for.
In between. the
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
asking. I'm asking, like,
Yeah, right. Okay. So there are
those
three,
angles would put the position, surely, of the light in the sky in a different position, judging by
Well,
where
that's
your
kind of-
starting mark of the base of the angle would be.
That's kind of the first. Like I said, there are three factors, right, that need a glow. Two of them are important. The first one is dip correction, and that's kind of not as important. But
Oh, that's what I was talking about. That's the angle.
yeah, okay, yes,
Right,
okay.
so-
So dip correction.
Okay.
Well, it's not a big adjustment, so he could technically just ignore dip correction and get close-ish, right? Because the dip correction, I don't know, might be like 8 arc minutes or something, so he might be 8 nautical miles away from where he should be. Yes.
Right, he would be. It's like who
Submarine,
applies
isn't
the
Submersible.
this dip correction, or is it
We
different?
both will.
Oh, right.
It depends on observer height, right? I don't know. We haven't generated angles yet.
Shitty cameras.
Yeah.
So you both change the angle that you are given
Yep.
at the beginning.
Yes.
Waste of money.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Correct
step
it
one.
to be-
Brilliant. I never even
Yeah.
heard this.
I wonder.
Right, so
There you go.
step
So the
one, you measure an
horizon-
angle, and then step two, you correct it.
Yes.
Getting
Because the
something you can use
horizon
for later.
below. The horizon is below
Me
horizontal,
going across,
so you need to correct it up to
across so you
horizontal,
can see the
so that you
band.
have a proper elevation.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're
So
on a
just
boat.
leave it just
right?
still as well. Like,
Yeah,
leave
or
it
you could be
still.
on a cliff somewhere.
You see that?
Could be anywhere. Your observer height could be 100
That's
meters.
infrared.
Anyway, so you correct that up to
Yeah.
horizontal, and the
That's
formula
not raised.
in
That's
the almanac,
that's the band
table that you
effects.
use to
He
correct
says
that,
that's the
that
Fata Morgana.
angle.
That
Need to
is
speak.
the double.
The derivation is from the Earth being a globe. Right, but like I said, it's not a big
That's the
correction,
mirage,
so you could
that
almost
double
ignore it and
horizon.
go, oh, you know,
The angle correction
yes,
Just keep it like that
depends
for a bit. Can you sharpen
a
the focus up on it?
sphere.
on a globe.
No, that's best
Yes.
focus.
The
Because
angle
I'm
to the
really
horizon
zoomed
is a
in.
function of a sphere in the geometrical
In digital
derivation.
thing.
Oh, I can.
Really?
They're writing the
Yes,
song
and it
already.
matches reality, Bev.
That's
Now,
But an angle is the measurement between the
Probably.
angle of inclination between two straight lines.
well, straight lines is an interesting thing. We post the.
That's
the
right on the edge of the digital zoom.
Straight lines is an interesting thing, which we'll
That's not
probably get into in the
fully
debate.
optical.
I think.
Wow, I hope so. But
Well, you can
that should,
join
be-
it.
that
Infrared
should
camera.
be first thing first, right? Because you are talking about angles and corrections to angles.
Yeah, we might have
Shit.
to try and get a full sunset then.
That looks like a
And
straight
film
line.
it with this to see whether these come.
A straight
I
line
have to
tangent to
find
the
a dark
horizon.
patch because it's only
No, that's
the
just
infrared
a tangent.
can't look at bright areas.
Oh, look at that. You can
Straight
see
line, right.
the birds going in and out of it.
Yeah, okay.
They're flying
Yeah,
up
where's
and
the
down.
angle?
Yeah, but
Oh,
where's the
see
angle
how-
measured?
See,
A is the
Don't,
thing
no,
you're
don't
trying to
touch it.
calculate.
Just leave it as it
I
is.
was gonna
A
say-
is the thing you're
No,
trying
no.
to calculate. A is the...
No, we'll just leave it just like that, and we'll keep it.
It's the difference between the horizon and horizontal.
Zoom in.
What, that
Oh, there's
angle at
loads
A?
of birds there,
Yes,
in
that's
it,
what
right
we
in
want.
it, right in it.
But where is horizontal in the picture?
Perpendicular to vertical? Where does it look like it
That's
is?
not good, is it?
You can see there's a distance to it as well. Like.
Should I go over
Well,
and see
it
what
would.
this
I would say that is it HC.
If I continue
line
like
looks
this, I
vertical
wonder
to
what
me.
will happen when it vanishes.
Where do you think horizontal is?
Disappears.
Would it be the dotted line coming out at
Yes. Well done.
A? Okay, so that's the horizontal that you're measuring from.
No, we're measuring between the horizon and a star. So if you're on a boat, right, and it's rocking
guess it's
around,
getting
then you
cool.
Yeah,
can't
but where would
establish-
you be? Would you be at H? Is that your eye
Yes.
That's how
Yeah,
it
top of
happens.
H, yes.
there? At A.
We're going to put some like capital letters on that. For each line.
Right,
H
so
vertex, yes.
what is
So
that?
we,
So you're measuring an angle from that horizontal, right?
No. We're measuring. The measurement we make is from the horizon to a star.
And where's
Right, but
the horizon in that picture?
what do you think it is, Bev?
Well, I don't know. It's like all
Well,
the
yeah,
horizontal
yeah.
would be
Sun's just
parallel
set.
to the plane of the horizon. So where would it
Horizon
be?
is the red tangent where it touches the sphere. Surely, Bev. Come on.
All the way down there.
Yes.
It's not down like that,
They're
is it?
slowly disappearing.
Yes, it is, Bev.
So
Yes, it
it's
is.
like
The horizon.
It's gone.
The horizon is below
there's still
horizontal
some there.
Yeah, there's still
99.9% of the time.
Yeah, because you're
It's just
setting the tool
slowly
up.
fades from the
A level, whenever you're setting it up, you wouldn't be setting it up in the water, would you? So you would
That'll
be
be
above
better,
the
yeah.
water.
Over
So,
once
yeah,
you
rightfully so.
slow it
The
down,
horizon
speed
would
it up,
always be
and
below.
watch it.
Like
You can
always,
see all
no
sorts
matter,
of-
Most of the
even
time.
if some people put
Yeah, just
YouTube
cut out
videos
that.
out saying it's above.
Sometimes,
Shout
yes,
out
if you are
George
close to the surface.
Nutsack and Jesse Gordon.
And Jesse Gordon. Yeah, well done. All right. But in typical conditions, Bev,
Be able to adjust the
angle
brightness as well
between
as
horizontal
of it
and the
specifically.
horizon is predictable,
And
and it's
video
a function
editing
of the
software
observer.
and that.
I wouldn't say that because I've actually took the tools out there and found that out.
Okay, well, reality disagrees with you, so anyway. That is the dip angle, and that's the formula, and that is the formula that the almanac uses. That's what that's the correction that you need to apply.
Oh, that
And
looks
if
like
you
perfect
want to apply
maths,
something
is it?
else,
Is that perfect maths?
that is the perfect formula, yes.
That's what Fight the Flat Earth said. It's the
Yeah,
one
but
that
there's an
replaces
approximation
8
formula.
inches per mile squared, is it? That one.
Not quite, but anyway, it's similar. There is an approximate formula in the almanac, which is, close enough. That dip correction, that's the first thing that requires a globe. But like I said, if he can come up with some...
That requires a
geometry.
globe, but it's got R in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, look where the R's are.
Formula,
You see
it's
the
got
R?
R in it. Yeah, so that's why it requires a globe. Because you
Yes.
put R in the formula. Because you've drawn a circle.
Right. And flat Earth
Here you go.
has no geometry
Huh?
for dip correction. And you will not have
Perfect.
geometry for dip correction.
But see, Fight
Alright,
Flat
that's
Earth
it.
went for the H.
Okay.
Yeah, he did well there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me post the next one then. The next one, where you will not have an answer. That one.
So you can work out how high you are by measuring an angle, if you do it with like the flat Earths.
You can. Yes. As long as you got like an assumption of a typical atmosphere, you can. Absolutely.
Work out how your altitude or elevation.
Yep.
You can measure an angle.
That's what it is, isn't it? When you see an
work
oil
out
rig
how-
in
yeah,
the
I know.
water. That's
Fantastic. Like when I said right at the beginning, you can do fuck all with an angle. Well, it appears some people can do maths.
Two boats, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get an actual real world result. Yes.
Well, I wouldn't
Like,
say
it's
that.
like you can
I wouldn't go
do
that
something.
far.
Boats over there.
Really. But I mean, it's inventive,
Somewhere along
and it's
reality.
obviously been doing the rounds for a while. Some people have probably convinced other people that you can actually do something with just an angle in geometry,
Yes.
but it didn't make it into data.
Didn't make what?
It didn't make it into data. This.
What's data?
What's data?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oh, it's all right. It's just a book.
Actually, instead of posting that screenshot, I'll show you something else I made for the debate.
Wow.
Windmills aren't turning.
I'm doing GIFs. Have you seen my GIFs?
I see the
Celestial
curve.
navigation.
It's going over
It's
it.
an art series.
The
I'm doing.
curve's all the way over there. See where the...
There we go.
With those
This is the
windmills
prettiest
all over
geodera I've ever done. Check
The
that
boat's
out.
going to be coming past in a minute.
What's that?
There it is.
you're getting some good
That is
shots
where
today, man.
69 miles per degree comes from in celestial navigation.
From
And
measuring
why it doesn't work.
a 1 degree drop of a light in the sky when they move 69 miles.
You see the windmill
Yes.
in the distance.
Yeah, that shows
Wow.
why it works on a globe. And
It's like
again,
just
there will
about
be
the only
no...
measurement. No, it's like the angle
See them on the phone.
decreases when you go horizontally.
Yep. When you move
69
away from it,
miles.
yeah. Right. And what geometry explains that phenomenon?
Behind the curve.
What, the drop of an angle in the
Yeah,
distance?
by that ratio, yes.
What geometry? That'd be Euclidean geometry, definitely.
Okay, yep. Can you sort of go a bit further than that?
It's just an angle. You
Right,
measure
so
the
why does it
change
drop?
in an angle. Because you move away 69 miles.
Oh, it's in
Yeah,
front
why?
of it.
Why does it drop 1 degree per 69 miles? What is the geometry that explains it?
It's Euclidean geometry that explains the
Yeah.
1 degree
Yes,
drop,
windmill
and that's
must
what
be
you
well
measure, 1
behind the
degree.
curve.
It's like if I said, what's the math that explains it? You go, oh, the math with numbers.
And it looks completely up to be completely vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be a fucking meaningless response, right?
It's just 1 degree change over 69 miles. Like you
Yes.
move 69 miles and the light in the sky drops 1
Yes.
degree. Yeah.
What is the explanation for that phenomenon?
You moving 69 miles away.
What geometry explains it?
Euclidean
You've just
geometry.
restated the phenomenon
Back
again.
off of it.
Yes.
Yeah, again.
Because
they're
that is what
numbers.
happens.
Back off.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think you know that it only works on a circle with distant stars.
No, it's
It's just
you
the angle
move
you're looking
69 miles
Yeah,
horizontally.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, we'll go on to the
And the
next one.
angle changes.
You're gonna say, is the bottom
Jolly
is the
good.
behind of it leaning?
Yeah, well done.
at. That
Yeah,
is
so
pretty
there's
good.
that.
Oh, Saragaki says, yeah, perhaps it's the longer hypotenuse.
Well,
So, I don't know,
Saragaki's quite welcome to show me the geometry that explains it.
B-ball's gonna love that.
Well, it's
The linear ratio between
linear.
I see
Yeah.
the way
Angle.
I've tilted it as well.
yeah. What explains it? What geometry explains it?
Euclidean geometry.
Yeah, thanks, Bev.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
alright.
know what is it you're after. Like you're waiting for something
So it's going
magical
uphill.
to happen, but it's not. It's just an angle.
Go on.
Oh,
I
it's
think
that.
Is it?
where's the next one?
You get some good
Toon
footage
Shell.
there.
It's very small, but it's still there.
Yeah, draw it, Saragaki. Draw it.
I'll keep getting this sort of stuff. You can see how still it is. Look at the windmills not fucking moving.
Nothing, yeah. This
All right.
is awesome.
So that Google Earth thing that I posted, that is when you draw 3 circles of equal altitude
Of what?
and 3 circles of equal altitude.
They are equal altitude.
You want bottom
Circles of equal altitude, meaning
disappearance, whatever
that
you call it.
if you are on anywhere, like if you're on the red circle, if you are on that circle at any point, you will see the same elevation angle to
Yeah,
that
I
star.
reckon this one, if we follow this one out, it might end up disappearing at the back end.
Right,
first.
altitude is above the surface, right?
It's an angle in this context.
No, but
Altitude and
altitude
elevation
is
is an angle.
above the surface, and elevation
an angle.
is the surface.
In this context,
Yeah, I think
both
so. There's a
altitude
little
and
spot of
elevation are
mirroring
angles.
right in the middle. The
That's
front
very
cool.
confusing. That Griffith.
Okay, but just accept that in this context.
As far
that's
as
what
I
they mean.
understand, the elevation is the land measured above mean sea level, and altitude is the height above the land, also measured to mean sea level, but meaning not on the surface.
Okay, in this context, you measure an angle, and it's called either an elevation angle or an altitude angle.
Oh, that's confusing. See, I never even
that's
knew
fine.
that.
They're
You
just
should
words,
have-
right?
Yeah, well, I think you should go over this at the beginning, because you're redefining the words within this context, and I don't think a lot of
Just
people
the
are with
words
you.
they use. Well,
Who they? Who's they?
everyone
I've
that
never-
talks about celestial navigation.
I've never heard it though, so
Okay,
that
that's
would be
fine. They're
would
just
be a
words,
good
Bev.
starter to
Well,
go
I think
over.
It's just
like I
words.
say, if we think we can
So they're both words that
any
mean
point.
a similar thing?
The back end of that boat.
The same thing. Elevation
Oh.
angle and altitude angle is the same. Yeah.
One of those two. I
So
was
they're
thinking
circles
the
of
same
equal
thing,
altitude
bro.
or circles of equal elevation.
I don't think
And
anybody
you
had
just
to
swap
sound
and
like this
change
ever. I never
as you
seen
want.
this
Yeah,
before.
pretty much.
Oh,
One end of the
Anyway,
boat
if you
lower than the
are
other.
anywhere on that red circle, you will see that there's the star GP in the middle. So the GP is the ground position for that star. So if you were at the ground position, the star would
Sorry,
be
the
directly
ground
overhead.
position, that would be in the
Geographic
water.
position.
this.
Geographical position.
Still going.
Okay? At that position, the star is
conditions
directly
is
It's
overhead.
not a
that?
ground position, it's a geographical
It's
position.
geographical position. Yes, everyone shortens it
That's
to
not
ground
like the
position.
same.
drastically.
Oh, right, so are they similar
Temperature's
or the
gone
same?
down. So it's not
They're the
to do
same.
with
GP, ground
that.
position, geographical position. Fine.
Right, so when you,
So
you
at that
but you
point-
don't use ground position in the water, do you?
No.
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 Damn, 'cause
Anyway,
you know what they're gonna
so
say.
at that point, the star is directly
was it
overhead.
loaded on that day?
Okay?
Was
At
heavy
any
in the back
point
where the
on that
cranes
red
are?
circle,
Can you
at any point, you would measure the same elevation angle.
Or
Because it was just fully
Yes.
loaded, heading out.
Okay? So you know that you are
I think
somewhere
if you're
on that
practicing
circle.
your presentation, I think you should always add that in. Like
I think the
elevation
audience,
or altitude angle. I think you should always say that.
I think the audience
Can you
will be
get
well
that
versed in celestial navigation.
Looking at this.
Well, I won't be. I've
I
never.
know.
I know. So, but might be watching.
Nearly disappeared.
There might be other
Maybe.
people like me that are watching
Yeah,
that haven't got a
That'd be great.
clue about celestial navigation and how it works.
right.
Some of us
So that's
might
one
never have
circle.
watched Nathan Oakley.
Right. That's one circle, the red circle. But you take elevation angles to 3 stars and you draw 3 circles. Where those circles intersect, they will intersect at a point, and that is where you are.
You can see there's a couple of
Cool.
there's
Drawing
a
circles.
light.
That sounds
I
like
think
Euclidean
that's
geometry
mirroring,
too.
'cause the flashing is
No,
like a
this is
double
actually
flash.
spherical geometry now.
What, drawing circles?
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
Euclidean.
on a spherical,
double.
on a spherical body. Yeah.
Those lights should get
With
closer and closer
pi,
together.
3.14.
Yes, with pi, Bev. Holy shit.
Yeah, but
With sine, cos, and everything. Yeah. Wow.
yeah. Well, that means you are
So the
definitely
point-
using Euclidean geometry, right?
No,
Yeah.
these are circles plotted on a sphere using the Haversine formula.
So they're not pi. Then you don't go with the traditional pi.
What are you talking about?
That's awesome.
Do you not?
Oh, it's over the curve, isn't it?
The
It's going over the curve.
ratio
Over the
of the diameter to the circumference.
Over the hump, yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's another term that I probably should have explained better.
Yeah, it's obvious.
These are circles, okay, but they
Yeah, like Euclidean
the
circles.
distance. No, the distance from the GP to a point on the circle is a curve. That
Yeah,
is
so
a
like
curve over the circle.
non-Euclidean circles. So therefore, you have to have a different value of pi. What value do you have for pi?
What are you talking about?
The ratio
What the
of the
fuck?
circle to the diameter.
Yeah, you can slice
Your
the top
diameter's curved,
of the
isn't it, for these
circumference. Yeah,
circles?
point on the circumference, yes. So it's not right
So your
to say
ratio
that these...
for the circumference to the diameter is different than pi.
Yeah, it's not right to say. Like
So
let's
what
say
is
I'm
it?
drawing
You,
this.
what do you have for your new ratio for pi?
It's not a new
What's
ratio.
your
for pi.
numerical
So that
value
GP,
for pi that you're using now?
pi doesn't change, Bev. Okay?
No, because it's Euclidean.
Pi isn't Euclidean.
Well,
it's a number.
It's in the shipping lane in between Liverpool and
It's Euclidean. It's a ratio.
What? It's a number.
South. Well,
Shocking.
Liverpool and Wales, isn't it?
Shocking.
It's Liverpool shipping lane.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow,
so
that's
Saragak says, when you say
stupid.
point on a circle, you mean point on the circumference. Yes. But what I want to say is that these... So the GP is in the middle, and all the points are obviously a set distance
How many miles is
away.
that?
But that distance is over the ground. So people might say the word radius, but it's a curved path over the ground.
Yeah, so it's not a radius then. You're not using Euclidean geometry. Or you are because you want to have pi as a ratio of your
It's in
circle.
the Liverpool.
But that
doesn't
obviously
change,
isn't,
Dev.
because if you've not got
It
r,
doesn't change.
So how far away is Liverpool?
I know.
Yes, GP
Because
is
there
the
is
center of the
only
circle.
Euclidean geometry, Ruhif.
Oh,
You
sorry.
have made up a geometry to do this.
Sorry, you say there's only Euclidean geometry?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 miles.
Wow.
3.
Okay. On that note, I think it might be time to feed. Oh, sorry, I'm going to finish the point.
Feed the dogs.
3 miles, huh?
Yeah, I do have to feed the dogs in a minute, but that's the point of this drawing three circles is that you must use the haversine, or you will
No,
not
that's
have intersecting
Ainsdale
circles.
from Southport.
Three.
And haversine is a
No, no,
spherical
that boat's further
formula.
away.
Way further.
It's weird that it's the first proposition as well, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, dog feeding time, and that's celestial navigation, Bev. And those, like I said, there are 3 points that make it impossible on a flat Earth. 2 of them, GP cannot be
There
centre of
is
the
no
circle.
flat Earth,
Yeah,
Ruhif.
the centre of the circle inside the sphere. Yeah, that's fine with what Saragak said. The centre of the plane of that circle would be under the ocean, sure.
And this does this disprove a flat Earth, or does this prove
Yeah,
a
because it can't
globe
be
Earth?
done. Well, both.
Yeah, what?
How
You
far
cannot
is
do
a
it
mile?
unless the Earth is a globe.
I couldn't tell you. Literally, you can't just do that.
Like 1
It's
mile.
near impossible.
Anyway, time to feed the dogs.
All right.
See you soon.
See you soon.
We walked out a mile when we went out from there.
Thank you guys.
Rufus. Yay.
Where is it again? Where is the rewriting of it?
Agents.
Agents, okay.
It's the second one. Like the first one was like a technical thing, and it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Makes logic sound, and I've tried to dumb it down.
There
You
we
still
go.
have to use antecedent and consequent. Can't get away from that.
Yeah.
How are we this evening?
You're late, are you? You fed the dogs?
No, that's another 20 minutes away. Here we go. Don't know why my voice settings reset.
I think Discord had an update. I think that might have been what I had last night. I think Discord did something, and Steam. They both just wanted to do an update at the same time.
Lovely.
How's your debate? I think you post a thing saying that your debate is on now.
It is definitely on.
Sweet.
I think it's in the middle of the night for you guys, though.
Oh, when?
It's late at night for you guys. It's 20th of July.
Oh,
10
5
a.m. for
days
me.
off.
Yeah, because Toon only does a live stream on Tuesday afternoons, nights.
Okay.
And we missed out on this week, so yeah.
Good. How's your video going?
It's almost done. Like I've got the bulk of it done. So I'm a bit worried it's going to be more than 15 minutes though. I have to cut some bits out.
Yeah. How did you do with your pi problem?
I don't think there's a pi problem, Bev.
You don't have a problem with pi.
No.
It's because it's Euclidean in it, and it's fucking great.
No, it's actually spherical.
Pi.
You don't need a different number for pi.
3.14.
Right? It doesn't change.
Because it's Euclidean. It's a straight line.
No, it just doesn't change.
Straight lines are straight. Like traditional straight.
Okay.
So you're not going with that, because I'm just cutting a video. I was wondering whether to send it to him to let him know. Do you think he'd pick up on the pi problem?
There's no pi problem. Maybe you can teach him how to do celestial navigation.
I don't know anything about celestial navigation. It's just measuring an angle as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that is the debate, though.
Yeah. Well, I was going over that conversation we had just a bit earlier. And the angle, you both adjust angles.
Yeah.
But does anybody know that? But anybody else
Yeah.
that doesn't know that.
Part of the process.
You measure an angle and then you
Yep.
adjust it.
And you make adjustments. Yes.
And then
And then you work out your distance from the GP, and then you plot a circle
you
of
work
equal
a
altitude.
distance from an angle
Yeah. You translate the angle into a distance. Yes.
after adjusting it.
Yes.
How do you translate an angle
I can
into
show
a
you the geometry for
distance?
that. Let me post the geometry. One sec.
Oh, nice.
Get out of that. GeoGebra, and it is that one. Hold on, I'll post it.
This is the geometry for
In
the
the live chat.
translation of a angle to a distance.
Yeah, into a distance, yes. It requires the Earth to be a sphere, and it requires stars to be very far away.
In order for you to use an angle to get... I still think it's impossible.
Okay. You'd be wrong, but okay.
We like to make positive statements around here, right?
Okay.
You can do fuck all with an angle, because that's what you've got. I mean, even after you've adjusted it.
Can we do something with 3 angles?
3 different angles.
3 different angles. Yep.
It's just 3 singular angles.
Yeah. 3 elevation angles.
So.
3 sextant measurements.
I would say thrice.
Thrice. I like it.
You can do fuck all with an angle. 3 times. I'd say for that one, you could do fuck all with that one. You could do fuck all with that one, and you could do fuck all with that one. Me personally,
except figure
that's
out
what
where
I
you
would
are.
say.
Yeah, I know, but you'd be wrong because you can figure out where you are on the Earth using those angles
by translating one of them into a distance.
Well, they all get translated into distances, yeah. And if you open that GeoGebra link, you'll see how it happens, how it works.
Right. Well, I mean, I think I was going over something. Let me have a look.
That GeoGebra link will be a star feature of my presentation.
Star feature?
Yep.
You've done some good work on GeoGebra.
I have. It's magnificent.
Right, where was it? Opposite side angle.
What?
Yeah, the Ruhif and the opposite side angle. Oh, it was on my tablet, wasn't it?
Oh, Wally's here. Hello.
Hey, Wally.
Oh, that was the fucking Starlink sighting last night, wasn't it? Well, this morning, actually.
Wally's not in here.
Come on, Wally. Come in and have a chat.
Well,
You should tell him that I'm here.
let me have a look. I'm pretty sure we did a video about you and your opposite side angle. You still trying to sell that?
The opposite side angle? I don't know what you're talking about, though.
Do you actually think that the side on a triangle opposite the angle they're the same thing?
It's the same thing, yes.
That's weird. They're proportional, right?
Fine.
Are they?
That angle, right?
Yeah.
Is the same thing as the
angle's
opposite
always
side.
the same in a triangle, right? Do the sides always say the same? Is that
The angle that we're representing is the same representation as the third side.
Yeah, but the third side.
The far side from that angle.
The one opposite the angle.
Yes.
Right.
It's
Now,
the same thing.
if the angle doesn't change,
then the third side doesn't change.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm not so sure that's how triangles work, though, Riley. Right?
It is for these ones.
Well, the distance that you're converting this to it's the opposite side to the angle.
Look at the GeoGebra link.
It's not
Bring it up.
It's not real, like, because you've just got an angle, but you imagine that, like, you could put a ruler on a picture or something. I think you taught Ranty, didn't you?
Open up the GeoGebra link, and I can explain what it's about.
Wait a minute, I'm looking for this opposite side angle thing.
Those three words together aren't making a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, because well, yeah. There you go. This angle does not equal these lines, Ruhif.
Xenophobe.
That's why I call it the opposite side angle. Because it's opposite. The opposite side to the angle.
Right. I call them isosceles triangles. And we know what the angles are, don't we?
What angles?
Well, that angle beta in the middle, right?
Do we know what that angle is?
Yeah, because we know the ratio, don't we?
It's the ratio of the distance, the vertical to the horizontal. That's the ratio. Yeah.
Right, which means we know what the angle is in the middle. This has gone back like 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, are you still trying to sell this to people?
Yeah, well, not recently, but I mean,
like
it's still
because
true.
when you measure the angle, like that angle there, and you say you translate it to a distance, which distance is it that you're translating it to?
In celestial navigation, or are we talking this?
I just like we know, yeah. Whenever you do that,
yeah, well, bring up the GeoGebra link, and you'll see
is it the distance it is away?
It is the distance over the surface of the Earth.
Okay, so it's the other side.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because this is the one that you were sold Ranty with, right? They're putting a ruler on a screen. The angle of the ruler at the end, the opposite side. But now it appears that you're measuring an angle for celestial navigation and getting a horizontal distance.
Not a horizontal distance, a distance over the surface.
Yeah, but the other side, right? Again, like when you did the angle for Ranty, you sold him that side where he put a ruler on a picture.
Have you?
It was fucking hilarious when we said him doing it, right? But now you've got the same angle, or just depends when measuring a different angle. But you've got using that angle, and now you're doing the other side. So there's that adjacent side to the angle that you're measuring, and you can tell how long it is. It's impressive.
You opened the GeoGebra link?
No.
No, why not?
Because I'm just trying to do it basically. I'm trying to work out in my head now how you can magically derive the length of the sides of a triangle when you've only got an angle.
No, I've got the ratio of the distance to the opposite side there, to the measuring rod.
See, the problem with that is, Ruhif, you need to know either the horizontal distance or the vertical distance in order for the stadia metric range finding to work.
To know the angle.
It's not
beta.
about the angle, Ruhif. It's about the ratio of the vertical to the horizontal.
To know the angle beta.
To 100.
Okay, when you're finished, Bev, let me go. Let me know when you're finished.
Okay. Well, I'm just I'll let me go.
Okay, all right. To know the angle beta, we just need the ratio of the horizontal to the vertical, which we have in the specs for the auto level. The end.
The ratio of the horizontal to the vertical.
Yeah. We know that it's 100-1.
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about celestial navigation. If you don't have the Stadia
we keep switching, fuck.
No, what I'm saying. No, look, you measured an angle, right? You You calculated an angle when you got a picture.
Hang on, are
You
we talking
calculated an
celestial
angle
navigation
the
or
size
auto
of
levels?
something, then you put a ruler on it, and then you did your maths. But this time,
Oh.
because you're using celestial navigation, you don't have stadiometric lines on your scope. So you've just got an angle measuring device. Now you have to work out the horizontal distance.
We're talking auto levels or celestial navigation?
I'm
Which
talking
one?
about your
Choose one.
celestial navigation.
Okay, so open the GeoGebra link.
No?
No, okay. Okay.
Have you put some sort of a bug in there or something? You seem very keen. Just
Yeah,
put a picture up of
infect
something.
your
Let us
computer.
know what you want to.
Yeah, well, it's got sliders in it. I will post a picture though. Hold on. 1 second. Come on. There you go.
Like, do you like Wally's toothpick tangents?
There we go. Yeah, so if you open the link and you can play with the slider or both sliders.
Uh-huh.
Seems
Seems like you've got
an arc length.
Looks like you've got a line to the center of your circle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where's the angle that you measure?
So I haven't put the horizontal at the observer. So the observer's at the 12 o'clock position.
On the
Sort
top.
of imagine a line. Yeah, on top. Yeah, so imagine a horizontal for him. It's the angle between
Those
that
like that
horizontal
grid
and the yellow
line.
line.
Yeah, that grid line's already there, isn't it?
Yeah, so that'll do.
Okay.
So the angle between
that
that
horizontal
and the
grid
observer,
line we can imagine as a horizontal.
or the observer, yes, because he's at the 12 o'clock position. Very good.
Okay.
So the angle between that horizontal and the yellow line going to the star is the elevation angle to that star.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And because stars are very, very, very far away, that is also parallel to the line from the GP to the star.
What?
And the GP is the geographic position of the star. So that's if you were at the GP and you look straight up, the star, that's where the star would be.
Really?
Yes. Yes, really.
Wow. So because you measure an angle to a light in the sky, you can then tell the position of the star on the ground?
No, the position of the star is independent of that. If I have the time and date, I know exactly where every star is overhead. Right, that's been mapped over the last however many centuries.
Okay. So you've got, but those lines look like they're parallel.
Yes, because the star is very, very far away.
So how do you know how far to move the parallel line? Away from you?
In this model, the star is a finite distance away, but you can't. It's so far away that you can't tell that they're not parallel. And if you play with the slider that says distance
so they
to
aren't
stars,
parallel, or are they parallel?
they're not actually parallel, but they are close enough to parallel to be, treated as parallel.
No. Parallel is parallel. If not parallel, they're not parallel.
Okay.
So are they parallel or are they not parallel?
Or the geometry within a margin of error.
For what geometry?
Infinitesimally. This geometry that's on the frickin' screen.
Euclidean geometry.
Yes, this is Euclidean geometry. Yes.
Yeah, because that's the only geometry that has parallel lines, isn't it?
There are concepts of parallel in other geometries.
Well, in reality, like Euclidean geometry is what we use because there are actually parallels, right? You've even using them. You're even using them in your drawing.
Yeah, Euclidean geometry has a definition for parallel. Other geometries have definitions for parallel that are different, that are not
Go on,
intuitive.
Then. Show us them.
Lines of longitude. Lines of longitude.
What?
Lines of longitude.
Are they parallel?
Under some definitions, yeah.
Where?
Yes.
Which is the definition that says they're parallel?
Yeah, we're not getting off track here. We're doing celestial navigation.
No, I would like to know. I would like to know where longitude lines are parallel.
Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter.
They're perpendicular to
celestial navigation.
latitude lines, right?
Right, and that makes them
Parallel.
We're not getting into this.
Yeah, geometrically parallel.
Right, and that's kind of the definition that we're getting at.
Yeah, it's kind of the reason we're here, really, isn't it?
Right, but they join together at the poles. So in our Euclidean sense,
parallel. Yeah, but parallel lines don't do that.
Not in Euclidean geometry, no.
Not in reality. Parallel lines don't do that.
Well, it's just all this comes down to is your definition of parallel,
which is straight lines.
Oh, Bev, we're not getting into this. If we keep going with this, I'm just going to go.
Well,
we can talk about celestial navigation.
Yeah, but this is one of the fundamentals because you are using parallel. Now,
yes,
are they parallel or are they not parallel? Because you say you're using parallel, but you don't actually think they are parallel.
Okay, let's say we're using a star called Polaris. Right, that's 400 light years away.
Light. Well, you say. I'd say it's impossible to measure a distance. But you say you can use an angle to do that.
Okay, right. But if you were to do the maths on that, the light coming from Polaris... Do the maths
on what?
The light coming from Polaris...
How do you do the maths on a light?
The angle at which it comes into you.
The angle from where?
Have you finished?
Well, I'm just trying to work out what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you do the maths on an angle.
Right. Okay, if you are looking at Polaris on your horizon, as opposed to looking at Polaris from the North Pole, okay? The difference
you wouldn't be able
from
to see
parallel...
You wouldn't be able to see it, would you?
You can see Polaris on the horizon,
I thought 15 degrees.
You can still see it. You just shouldn't really use it as a celestial navigation star. Okay? Anyway, if it's 400 light years away, the difference from parallel is 1/billionth of 1 degree.
What difference of parallel? What is the difference?
They're a billionth. They're a billionth off. They're a billionth of a degree off parallel.
What are a billionth of a degree off parallel?
The lines of sight, the light coming in between the observer that sees it on the horizon versus the observer that sees it overhead.
They're both looking at the same light in the sky.
Yes, and if it's 400 light years away, then it's ridiculously close to parallel that we can just call it parallel. Okay. We can use parallel lines in our geometry. Is that okay?
I wouldn't, but I mean, yeah, if that's what you're thinking of.
How much, like, you know, the goal of celestial navigation is to work out where you are, right?
Well, triangulation requires a triangle. And if
the goal of celestial navigation is to work out where you are, right?
You're talking about parallel lines. I mean, do you ever make a triangle? Is it ever possible for you to make a triangle?
The goal of celestial navigation is to work out where you are, right? Yes.
Now, well, where you're going, I'd say. I think you should already know where you are. You want to know where you're going.
Celestial navigation tells you where you are.
Well, I think where you're going would be a little bit more use.
Well, if you don't know where you are, then you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, but surely you set off in a boat from a port. Like, surely you definitely know where you are.
If you want to talk, we can talk. If you're going to fuck around.
I'm not fucking around. I'm just saying you should know where you are.
Yeah, and celestial navigation tells you where you are. Okay.
Okay. Does it let you know where you're going as well?
No, that's up to you, Bev. Anyway, if you're a billionth of a degree off, then the position fix that you get at the end might be a couple of millimeters off. Is that an acceptable error?
Where's your triangle?
If it's a billionth of a degree off, then our position fix might be a couple of millimeters off. Is that an acceptable error such that we can treat those lines as parallel.
Wait, where's your triangle?
No, all right, see you.
See ya. That should be a great debate to watch. That can't wait for that one.
What do you mean by vertical angle?
Well,
From your position.
When you're imagining that angle, you don't think it's an angle from your eye, from the horizontal downwards, do you?
No, it's the change in your up versus the up of that location.
So are you the drop or is the horizon
Yeah,
the drop?
measured from where? Where's this 1 degree measured from? Where is it measured?
Well, it would be the difference in the horizontals, or the difference in the verticals, the difference in two lines that are established the same way.
I don't know yet. Sounds confused. The difference in the horizontals?
Yes. So it would be the difference in the horizontals, different in the plumb lines, different in the in the verticals. All lines would have a 1 degree difference at 69 miles. It's like all of your lines, your plumb, your horizontal, your vertical, all of these lines have been shifted by 1 degree when you've moved 69 miles.